Welcome back to my channel. Now, this video is going to be about money mindset, and this is all about the mindset and the identity behind the woman who wants to earn more money, okay? Because the truth is, you want more money, you want more success, you want to be able to spend without checking the bank account or even double checking what's in your checkout cart and thinking, do I even have enough money? You don't want any of that. So what I want to do in this video is really get you to open your eyes and your awareness to what is currently capping you from earning more money. So right now, you are already capable, you're disciplined, you're following a strategy, you're doing all the right things, you're calling people in, but no matter how hard you try, your bank account isn't reflecting it, right? You're doing all the right things, but the income it's just not where you want it to be. You're just kind of at a plateau with your income, right? And it's like, well, how much more do I need to do? And you know there's a block, you know that actually you could be making a lot more right now, and this isn't just something random, it's not something that you have to push through. Essentially, you have an internal money set point. We all have an internal thermostat and an internal money set point, and that's based on our upbringing, on our childhood, on our past as well. Now, the real reason you're capped is because you didn't learn how to earn money. None of us learned how to really earn money, but what you did learn are the rules around money, right? So when you was growing up, you heard things most likely like money is bad, be grateful for what you have, don't be greedy, don't ask for too much, save it, or rich people are different, people with money are different, people with money are arrogant, they're stingy, like money makes you selfish. You know all of these stories you heard growing up about money, and actually that's why money used to be such a taboo subject. And maybe in your life right now, money is still a subject where when you talk about money, it feels a bit uncomfortable, maybe around certain people, maybe around your family or your friends, or when you think about money like, yes, I want more, but still there is a past version of you from your childhood who grew up with rules and stories around money, right? Like the ones that I just said. First thing I want to say is we're not shaming like your past or your parents or whoever brought you up with the rules and the stories that they said. Remember that everyone in your past is not responsible now, right? They're not responsible for who you're about to become, but those stories, they were just basically passed on to you in an attempt to help you survive, because they were the stories of that generation. They were the stories of your parents and the life that they lived. But we know that you want a bigger life, that you want to maybe provide for yourself, provide for them. You do want more money, but unconsciously you still have those rules and those stories from the past. So that's why your nervous system has a limit, because it believes that if money is bad, money makes people selfish, it makes you arrogant, that rich people are different, you're going to constantly push for it. But if money is bad, why would your system allow you to fully go for it? Because it's bad. And again, you probably know already, yeah, but that's not a fact. Like, no, I don't believe that anymore. Okay, consciously you don't believe it because you want it. But subconsciously, that little girl that grew up believing these stories, that's still there. That's still a running narrative in the back of your mind, and it's in your subconscious, right? So right now, this is how it's going to be showing up for you. When you think about raising your prices, you completely panic. Or when you're on a sales call, you will always offer, let's say, a high package and a lower package. But if someone says, I'm going to go for the lower package, you go, yep, sure, that's fine. Even though to hit your income goals, a higher package would be better, but also the higher package is going to get them a better result, but you would rather them go for the smaller package, right? And when it comes to raising your prices, there's a bit of panic. It's like, oh God, I'm not sure about this. Actually, not yet. I won't raise my prices yet. I need to add more value. That's the other thing you do, is you'll add more values. I need to give more. I need to over deliver if I want to charge X amount, right? Because you don't want to be selfish, you don't want to be greedy. When you receive a big payment, it's like anxiety. It's like, oh, that's a lot of money coming into my account. A few things can happen here. You can either like completely push that money away, or you'll suddenly spend it all because you don't feel comfortable holding that amount of money. You make more money and then you overspend it, or you slow down. So you've just had like a big cash injection into your business, for example, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to focus on sales for a bit because the money's there. So it's like, well, that's the most money I've ever had. So that's enough for now. That's enough. I can stay here. Like, I want more, but actually I'm just going to slow down. But you're subconsciously slowing down, right? You start to do less sales calls. You start to sell a bit less. Yes, you want more, and you say that you want more. Consciously you can say, I want this, this, and this, but subconsciously remember that girl still heard those stories and you are literally just a grown-up version of her, right? So now what I want you to do is I just want you to ask yourself, where do I hesitate to show up fully as someone who earns more? Where are you still downplaying yourself? Where are you still playing small? Where are you still over-delivering? Where are you not charging what you really want to charge, or are you not charging your worth? And truly ask yourself, how do you feel spending money? Do you double check what's in your checkout? Always go for the cheaper option. Do you go for the own brand rather than the expensive one? How how do you truly feel when it comes to spending money? You just get so honest with yourself. And how do you feel about receiving money? And the final question is, where am I still trying not to look like a woman with financial abundance? I actually had this with a client who said that when she's around her friends, she tends to go for the cheap option and she tends to like downplay herself in order to fit in, right? And that's the thing. That's because there is a subconscious fear having more money is going to make her unrelatable. So what does she do? She isn't fully going for the amount of money that she wants. She's adding maybe a couple £100 per month, but she's not really stepping into that fully embodied like version of her that can really be like successful and have financial abundance, because she doesn't have that around her right now. So where are you still trying to not look like the woman who has financial abundance? Where is that playing up in your life? Who are you around where you downplay yourself, or you double check the prices, or you don't really speak about money, or everyone else speaks about money and it makes you feel uncomfortable because they maybe are in scarcity and you're aiming for abundance, right? With all of these situations, your nervous system is signaling something to you. So it's really important to start to pay attention to this. How do you actually feel around money? The reason this is so important is you will not be able to earn more if your body does not feel safe receiving it. If your body does not feel safe holding on to more money, receiving more money, or even spending money, you're gonna stay where you are because you're in like the safety zone, right? Right now, it's safe, it's familiar, it's predictable. This is where you are. This is where your thermostat is. This is where it's comfortable. So what we want to do is we want to then think, okay, so how can I actually expand my capacity to receive and hold money? Because if we do not expand that capacity or expand your identity, you're going to make some money, but you won't make the amount that you really want to make because you've heard these stories about what that would then mean about you. Because it's negative, obviously your body's not going to want you to go there because it's wired to keep you safe and to protect you, right? So the shift isn't, I need another strategy, I need to work harder, I need to go and do an offer, right? You don't need to go and do a random offer to like bring people in at a discounted rate. That's not going to get you to where you want to be. You need permission to receive more. You need to expand your capacity when it comes to money. You need to be able to fully just feel safe in holding more. Because when your nervous system trusts that earning money is safe, that being seen with money is safe, that holding responsibility is safe, the income's going to naturally flow in, right? So when it knows that earning more is safe, that actually when you have more money, that's safe, that's okay. It's not suddenly going to go missing. It's not because of lucky girl syndrome, but actually you are worthy of that money, that you can just have that money, that it's safe to have and receive that money. That's perfect. That it's safe being seen with money. Okay, so if you grew up and it was like, oh, people with money are so greedy, people with money are so selfish, well, obviously you're then not going to want to be seen with money because then people are going to judge you for having money. So then you're going to play small and you're actually going to subconsciously push away more money because you don't want that negative connotation. You're scared of who you're going to become, or you're scared of how people will see if you have more money. So subconsciously you're pushing it away. So you're trying really hard. Subconsciously it's like, I'm not all in. I'm not fully selling. I'm actually downplaying myself. I'm actually reducing the price of my services because you don't feel safe actually being seen with more money. But who do you become with more money? That's a really interesting one that I want you to get really curious around as well. And who are you scared of judging you, or who are you so afraid may reject you if you were to have more money? Where would you no longer belong? Where would you no longer fit in or be relatable? That's where your body's going to keep you back in. But like, well, we fit in here, so why don't we not go make that more money? It'd be lovely, but we ain't going there. You can't consciously rewrite these and go, I now believe that no one will judge me. It doesn't happen like that. It's your nervous system. Your nervous system is not operating on a conscious level. It happens subconsciously. So what we want to do is, like I said, we want to expand this now. Now, this is what we do inside my Disrupt the Pattern program. I'm not going to sit here and give you questions to journal about and ask you about your money mindset and get you to go and do some affirmations and listen to a meditation. No. Everything that is happening in your life right now is happening on a subconscious level. What we need to do is we need to disrupt that pattern. We need to look into, okay, where did this story come from? Changing the meaning, but also doing some future pacing, right? Actually allowing your brain and your body to break the fear of what it fears is going to happen or what it feels is unsafe about money. We break the limitation, so the old story from the past, but also we're going to do some future self timeline work where actually we can see you living with more money and we're going to create safety in that. That's why I'm not going to get to journal, because again, journaling, I've said in a previous video, is you write it out, you get clear, like this is my money mindset, but you can't really disrupt it. You can't really get rid of it. You just go, okay, so I'm super clear on this. Then you're going to still consciously try harder and harder because it's all about effort still, right? But when we break this subconsciously, it's no longer about effort, it's instant. Like, this is who I believe I am. Hang on a minute, like I actually believe that I'm worthy of this, this and this. And you're not having to every day like sit down and write 100 times, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I can handle it, I can handle it. We do it subconsciously, so it literally shifts your identity. You become that version and boom, you start taking action from that. You're expressed, you're confident, you're like, yeah, give it to me, like I can do this. And that's because we disrupt the patterns from the past, we do the future self-work, and then you fully send it, right? You feel so like so free, and that's what we want. We don't want affirmations, we don't want meditations. We want to actually get to the root cause. We want to actually get your nervous system on board, get your subconscious on board. Remember, your subconscious is running 95% of what you do. 95% of what you do on a daily basis is your subconscious. If your subconscious is not on board with the level of success that you want or the level of money that you want, you're always going to sabotage it, which is why I do subconscious, deep-rooted like reprogramming to get you to where you want to be, and we work together on that, right? So what we do inside Disrupt the Pattern is we reprogram the old rules that say understand where they come from. Awareness is great, understanding is great. We challenge what you heard when you was growing up. Okay, what was the positive intention behind that? What meaning did you give that? How is that now showing up in your life? What happens if we disrupt that story? What would you then believe? What would you then start doing? Then we actually disrupt the belief, because when you change the belief, you change the behavior. That's when like success feels safe, inevitable, grounded, and then your income starts to follow. If you're there like, yes, I need that. Like, I'm done being capped. I'm done working really hard. I'm done downplaying myself. I'm done thinking I always need an offer. I want to expand my thermostat. I want to be able to hold more, but I did grow up with those limiting stories. Then DM me on Instagram with the word money, so I know that you came from this exact video. And what we'll do is we'll explore what is really going on for you. So your current circumstance, like where are you at with money, where are you at with income, what is it that you truly desire, and then what's really stopping you, like what behaviors are you seeing that's coming up, or what beliefs do you feel like currently holding you back. We'll explore my Disrupt the Pattern program, which option would be best for you. I'll leave my Instagram here as always, the screen always moves with me. But yeah, just DM me money and we can run through that, because remember, you're not capped by your skill, you're not capped by the strategy, or you're not working hard enough. You're capped because of what your identity or what your system feels safe holding. So we have to expand that. We have to change the stories, right? When you change the stories, you completely break free from it, and then the income will follow. So yeah, I'll leave this video here. I really hope you have enjoyed it. You've taken away some key insights, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.